Good morning and welcome to English 102, the online version. I'm Kelly Landry. I'll be your professor this semester. And I wanted to start with a video just to kind of introduce myself to you and go through the syllabus that I have posted, and also just talk about a couple other details of the course. So, as I said, my name is Kelly Landry, and this is my second year teaching here at Nichols. I also teach on campus, so I'm accessible and available if you need to see me in my office. My office is 256A in Pelchain, and I have my office hours posted on the syllabus, but basically I'll be available every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 11 till 1, and then also, by appointment, because I'll be on campus all the days of the week, but those are only the regular office hours I'll be keeping. I originally was a high school teacher. I'm from Wisconsin and moved down here last summer. I got married to somebody who is from this area, which is why I moved down here. And after teaching high school, I knew that I wanted to move on to teaching college. So I'm very familiar with working with student writing and just communicating, I guess, with students about how to improve and that kind of thing. I live right here in Thibodaux, and my husband and I have a house here. We have a dog. That's about it for now. And anyway, I look forward to hopefully getting to know some of you a little bit better as the semester goes on. Let me go through the course syllabus, and hopefully you've had a chance to print that, or we'll take a moment to do so. And, obviously as an online course, we don't have a regular meeting time, but you will have assignments every week that you have to finish. And those will be, usually I have them due on like a Sunday at midnight, which is basically a Monday morning kind of thing. I do have some things due during the middle of the week, so just watch every week. I'm going to post what, the list of assignments is for that week. It will probably seem like a lot of assignments just because we don't have class time together, so some of what I have posted for you to do is stuff I would have been doing in class with my other students. So try to keep up on all of that. And I will periodically post videos as well, just instructing you on certain things that I feel could help you be more successful, I guess, in completing different assignments. So you can go ahead and look at, I guess, the introductory material on the syllabus. Obviously, you're taking this course having taken English 101 or having tested out of it, either way. And the English 102 primarily is going to focus on persuasive writing, developing an argument and sustaining that through evidence and logic, and there's other ways that you can do that. To a lot of students, that's a relatively new type of writing. You have to take a stand on an issue. You can't just look at both sides and analyze both sides. So that may be a little bit new, but that's really the basis of this class. The textbook is The Curious Writer, and it's this new fourth brief edition. You do need to get the newest one, unfortunately, because if you did take 101 and purchase a textbook for that, it has been updated. The paging has changed. Some of the readings have changed. So make sure you get your hands on that new updated version that we have. And in the front of that book, we have the English department, I guess, guidelines, you could say. And I could just take a minute right now, actually, to look at that with you. I have it right here. If you get your textbook and you go through the beginning part of it, there's a whole bunch of information, but the thing I wanted to point out to you was the way that the grades are interpreted in this writing class. This is just like written explanation of what kind of a grade, what a letter grade means. For other teachers, you may have, had a C means something different or a B means something different. Um, Obviously, we as an English department try to be consistent in how we grade students, but it is also a subjective process to an extent. So I just wanted to give you an idea and kind of interpret this from my perspective as a teacher. This is how I think about, a person's paper. To get an A, I mean, again, it may have been a little bit more familiar to you to get A's in previous schools or in high school or whatnot. You have to have a really good paper here to get an A. Basically, it's going to be unique. It's going to be, um, like insightful in its analysis. Um, and aside from that, it's really going to have very like little or no error in terms of grammar and writing, punctuation and that kind of stuff. And also the language will be nice. It will be beautiful. It'll be easy to read. So that's a very good paper. B is definitely a grade to be proud of. It is very close to the A. It may not be as independent as far as like thinking goes. Um, the writing style may not be as sophisticated. It might be a little more choppy, that kind of thing. Um, so it's still a very high quality paper, but not quite to that excellent level that the A paper would be. A C paper, basically A, B, and C are all passing papers. A C paper is definitely adequate. It fulfills the assignment requirements, um, but it doesn't excel. It could just simply be because, and there's some things listed here, the thesis is not um, very sharp or sharply focused. It may not be well organized. There's a whole bunch of different things listed there that could lead to receiving a C paper, or a C grade rather. Um, and a C is definitely something to be content with, to be happy with. Obviously, I'd like to see everybody strive for excellent papers, but don't freak out if you get a C. That's still an accomplishment in this class. The reason I would give somebody a D would be that something major is out of place. And usually, in my experience, what that has been is maybe there's no thesis present, but the paper itself makes an argument. It's just hard to follow because the thesis isn't there in the beginning. Or another thing could be it has a thesis, but the paper talks about more than the thesis. That's also a major problem. But it definitely, as this thing says here, has redeeming quality. There's a lot that you can do with that paper. It's not like a disaster. um, and then the F. The only way I would give an F paper is if there are major things beyond what I mentioned with the D paper. And basically these major things are deal breakers. If grammar is so, I guess, incorrect, and that to the point that I can't understand what the writer is saying, that's a huge problem. Obviously, if a paper is plagiarized, that could be an F. If I've worked with you on doing citations and not plagiarizing, but I still find, a lot of your paper is not properly cited, that could lead to an F as well. A major one, though, like the F paper, could just simply be it doesn't meet the requirements of the assignment. So it could be that it's not long enough. It could be there's not enough sources or correct sources. I don't give out a lot of Fs, but I will use that if I find that a person's paper is so off. So, anyways, I just wanted to go through that with you. Again, that's at the front of the Curious Writer text. If you want to breeze through all that, you can see the different types of assignment options that we as teachers have for the English 102 class. If you flip to the second page of your syllabus, you'll see that I've selected 2 major essays, an annotated bibliography, and then a final exam for our semester work. The major essay we're going to start with is called an ethnography, and I have posted the guidelines for that as well for you to look at. I'll talk about those in just a minute to give you an idea of what it's going to be. And the second major essay is the research essay that just, you've done research papers before. The research essay is going to be where you have to create an argument and you're primarily, using scholarly research to get your point across. Those papers are both 25% each, so obviously they're like the major grades in the course. The annotated bibliography is 15%, so it's still pretty big, but it's not as big as the papers. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain to you what that is when we get there. But just be aware that the annotated bibliography kind of is the beginning of you creating the research essay. So it's really an assignment that's going to help you get started on that last paper. Let me just see if there's anything else I need to mention. Your attendance, obviously you're not going to be tracked for daily attendance, but I do need to see that you're completing your homework assignments at least on a regular basis. I do keep track of that, so that's really what your attendance amounts to. And obviously your participation in when we have forums for discussion, and I guess that's the main thing that we would be doing for participation. I do expect you to be involved in that as well. That could hurt your grade if you skip those things, so be sure to keep track of that. Just as far as conduct, usually I talk about classroom management or how you should act in class. There's no class, here to where your cell phone can go off or something like that. But just use, obviously, politeness and professionalism when communicating with each other and with me. Mostly, again, through forums that we'll be doing. Make sure that you are writing in an academic professional way. We do a lot of writing on the computer that it doesn't matter if we capitalize things or, forget a period or something. This is a college course, so it does matter that you use proper grammar. So just those are some aspects of conduct that you need to consider. The other thing is, in this class we will be collaborating, so just be aware that you are basically agreeing to letting other folks look at your writing, and we'll be obviously doing online peer evaluations and discussions through that format, but that's, some people have a hard time sharing their writing, but just be aware that this is part of the course, and it's really for your benefit. I mean, if you're really nervous about doing that, try to just push yourself, because it is something that can really help you become a better writer. Something that you're going to have to use when you turn in your papers and your drafts is Turnitin. It's actually connected through Moodle, so honestly you don't really even need to know much about it, but I'll place a link on the Moodle page where it just says like ethnography draft upload here or something like that. When you upload your paper, it's automatically going to run it through this program called Turnitin. And Turnitin, if you've done 101, you know exactly what it is, but it's a program that runs papers to detect any sort of plagiarism, if there is any. And it's I'll talk about it maybe more once we get to the point of actually uploading something, but you should be able to view your own paper. You should be able to view how much of it is similar to other papers that have been submitted. It also tests it against websites to see, if your information is quoted, and it's from a website, that should be fine, because that's not plagiarized. But if you just put some information in your paper without citing it, obviously that's not what you need to be doing. I also look at how much information is from other sources. You really want to keep it to about like 20% is ideal. because you want the majority of your paper to be from your own perspective. So, so anyways, that's what Turnitin is. Last couple bits here. First of all, if you do want tutoring, and I highly recommend, you know, whether you're a good writer, an emerging writer, whether you think you need help, it would be worthwhile to go to the Nichols Writing Center, because it helps just to have more people read your writing and give you feedback. I have on the syllabus here, it's located in Pelche 144. Those tutors can also help you upload papers and figure out Moodle if you need help with that too. And it's free to you as a Nichols student, so consider that. If you don't have a lot of access to campus, there's this tutoring site called BrainFuse, and you can look at the Moodle homepage and it's listed there. I think it's $55 for like 2 hours of tutoring or something, and you could have, you know, somebody read your paper that way too. The last option is MyLabs Plus, which is, it used to be called My Comp Lab with Pearson, but it's like an online supplement that you have with your textbook. I will be using it for assignments, for grammar assignments. In a future video, I will do a tutorial to show you how to set it up. But basically, you get an access code when you purchase your book. If you don't have an access code for whatever reason, maybe you bought I don't know if you could have bought a used book, but anyways, if you don't have one, you can just buy the access code through the Pearson, you know, website. But anyways, I was saying all that because you can go to that and to the MyLabs Plus for this particular course and receive 3, I think, free tutoring sessions from some Pearson personnel. And from what I've understood, it's been very helpful and, you know, legitimate, like, feedback, not just something quick or whatever. So if you're not set up yet with my Complat, or MyLabs Plus, I should say, just sit tight, because I will give you more information on that in the future. So just hold tight with that. That's about it, I guess, as far as the syllabus. Remember that the drop date for the course is November 5th. So if you feel at that point that you're not sure if you're going to be able to pass and would prefer, you know, to withdraw at that point, that would be the date to do it. And then the what do you call this? The schedule is on the back of the syllabus, and it just lists for you all the different deadlines that we'll have coming up. A couple chapters you have to read from The Curious Writer, and some short deadlines, particularly with the first essay, which is the ethnography essay. I will explain that to you more in a different video segment, but for now I just wanted to give you this general overview. Feel free to contact me through email. Again, stop in my office. I can even Skype with somebody if that's easiest, but I'm here to help you. And I will say this, online classes, especially writing classes, they can be more challenging than in class classes, because you really have to be a careful reader. You know, the assignments I post, I'm not going to go through everything with you like I have just now, so you really have to, like, read everything very thoroughly, and just be very on top of what is due and when it's due. So I think it's a great way to learn, and it's a great way to be a writer. I think it's, you know, very feasible, but just be aware that you got to definitely give this course ample attention, even though we're not really seeing each other on a regular basis. So, all right, that's it, and I'll see you next time.